Welcome to Uke Like the Pros. I'm Terry Carter, and thank you for being here, and thank you for helping spread the word about Uke Like the Pros. Today is our words of wisdom, and so I'm just going to tell a little story about either a personal story or a story about my life as a professional musician over the last 20 years. And today, what I'm going to talk about is something that I think hits home to a lot of us, and that is performance anxiety or nerves, and, just how, not necessarily how you can overcome it at that moment, but how long term you can overcome it. So, don't forget we are live, so leave a question if you want to. Say hi, I'll check it in a little bit. So I'm teaching a guitar class. It's a beginning guitar class right now. I have about 25 students in it. And we have some beginners and people that day one of class have never picked up a guitar before. And we have some kids that have been playing for a while. So right away, like week one, on the fourth day, I made them get up in front of the class and play a reading song. So reading music notation, which is something many of you know that I'm real big on. And it was a short piece. I think it was only dealing with one string and three notes. So it wasn't a real difficult piece. And I actually had three different pieces and they could just choose one. But they had to get out in front of the class and I would play guitar as their accompaniment. And it was something that some students get up right away and do it, and then other students just kind of sit in the back and they, when I'm, who's next, they look away and they don't want to be, called upon, they don't want to go. And it's something that's very nervous for people to get up in front of a crowd and play an instrument. No different than if you, my daughter, no different than if you have to give a speech in front of people or anything that requires you to be up in front of a crowd of people, or doing like this, doing a video in front of people. So for the most part, everyone does really well, and I have some people that need to take deep breaths, real nervous, sweaty. In all my years of doing it, I've only had one student actually cry during it, which is actually not too bad. But I wanted to talk about this experience of getting in front of people and playing. So my experience was when I decided to get my undergraduate degree in music education and emphasis on jazz. I was in my, it was like 20 or 21, and it was my first kind of experience doing jazz. Before I'd been doing rock and pop and some blues stuff, and I've played in bands, and I've done a little bit of studio work at the time, and I've been in front of classes and teaching. But actually sitting in front of people by myself with at the time guitar, playing a song like a solo piece, some jazz arrangement, I don't know, must have been Autumn Leaves or All the Things You Are. That was something that I wasn't really that used to. I actually never done it before. So, I hear this kind of stuff even from some of my friends that tour with some of the biggest bands around, where they're playing arenas, but they're with the band, they're with the group, and so they feel more comfortable. But I've had one of my buddies tell me that, he could go and play with Christina Aguilera or Backstreet Boys, and that was no problem. But the thought of doing a wedding gig where you're just sitting up there by yourself scared him. And I always thought that was funny. So my experience was, here I am, I got to play this jazz piece, so my girlfriend, now wife at the time, encouraged me to go out and play. And of course, this was like open mic, and I think I played one song. And it was at a coffee shop, And I remember getting up there, and I had to have my music stand there, and I had to have my music in front of me, and I was probably hiding behind the music stand, and I got up there, and I don't remember if I even said anything. It's just like open mic, and so your turn to go up and play, and I just think I got up there, didn't even introduce myself, didn't introduce the tune I was playing, just got up there, got myself ready, and I played the piece. Now, my performance, well, from what I recall, maybe my wife has something different, wasn't all that bad. I think I played all right, but it was just that nerves of being scared to look up and look around at the people, get my head out of the music stand and interact with a little bit, right? We're entertainers here as musicians. Even though, yes, we want to play the music, we want to play it beautifully, but we also are in the business of entertaining because people love music. And so, that was a real learning experience for me because I'd never really done that before, and this is something that I developed years and years of doing this over and over again of playing in front of people solo, with groups, big audiences, the small audiences, and it's something that I think we all go through. And now I do a daily video here for us, and things like the baby's crying used to bother me, and now it's just one of those things that happens during the videos from time to time. Or, oh, I messed up during something. Well, I did. I'm human. I mess up, just like we all do. So, it's something that you can develop and get better. And so what I tell my students is we continue to make them get up in front of the class. So, for example, week 2, they had to get up in front of the class, this time with a partner, and do another piece of music for the class. And next week, again, the same. And this is something that, as you know, gets better and better the more you do it. Some people right away feel really comfortable out there, have a natural ability. Some of us have to kind of find that particular voice. And that was me. I had to find my voice, and it's something that I can still always improve on because I think we can always get better at looking at ourselves, analyzing ourselves, watching ourselves on video, or if we're recording a piece, listening to us play it. Even though sometimes it is painful to listen to our playing, I know, I've been there, but it all helps us grow and improve. So if you're out there and you feel embarrassed about playing in front of people, singing, that's a big one, singing in front of people, and I felt that same way, and I'll tell that story later. But all I can do is encourage you to do it and just trust that wherever you are at this particular time in life, this is only you at this moment, that tomorrow it may be better. The next day it may be better. So just the first thing is to do it though. Just sit down in front of that camera, sit down in front of a group of people and just play your instrument. All right, I'm going to do a quick check-in and see who's with us on this gorgeous day. I was fortunate enough to get a second day of surf in back-to-back, so thank you to my wife for that. And I'm feeling good and feeling recharged, ready to do some more videos and get the week started again. So, all right, so I see Carol's checked in, and yes, she's mentioning English, people who study a different language. So if you're learning English, or when I was learning Spanish, yeah, it's the same thing, right? That you're so embarrassed and self-conscious, but really, we just got to let it go and have fun with it, either way, good or bad, and have some humility and put ourselves out there. So thank you, Carol, for checking in. So anyway, that's it. Just a short little story today, and hope you found a little bit of inspiration from that. We'll be back for our next lesson with some more instructional stuff, but for now, I will leave you to have a beautiful day.